day 2. I'm recording 2 in one day, but I am preparing this for day 2. I'm still at Megan's house. I won't be done here until late tonight, and then I'll head home and get home well after dark and well after bedtime. But I wanted to show you a cool project that you too could do to give away as gifts. I believe that I, even in the store, have all the supplies you need. So I will write down and put the links to the supplies that you would need for this little gem here. This is a tapestry woven picture, and I'm going to insert the footage. I took a separate video of it, and I'm going to insert that footage right here. But this tree is, I believe this one was made with the straw technique, and there's a specific weaving technique, but you could absolutely take your yarn, take a piece of cardboard that is about, well, I'm going to flip this around, we're going to talk it through. So you need a piece of cardboard that is about, this is about 12 inches, so about 14 inches. You want it to go from edge to edge over here, a piece of cardboard, and cut slots. This is 20 warped strings. So you cut 20 slots in your piece of cardboard. You're going to wrap it up and back, up and back, up and back. If you choose to, if you want some more strength, you can go all the way around, but that uses more yarn. You need 20. 18 are showing within this frame. And then you just take red and you weave over, under, over, under, over, under, all the way across until you get to where the bottom of this is. Now, you can then take a little scrap of brown to use for this trunk and start weaving it in, but you're also going to continue weaving up here. And a lot of people will use a bobbin for these little small amounts of yarn. They'll wrap it up onto a bobbin, or you could just make a ball of yarn and let it hang. So you'll weave a little bit, then you'll come over here and weave a little bit. You do not have to link these together like you would if you were doing intarsia. You can just leave it hang. It'll be stable. Red up, and then here, this is roving. This person chose red roving. You could choose green roving. You could do whatever color you want. But this is roving right here. And the roving is woven just the same as the yarn, only making it into tufts. But it's the same warp that you're weaving through. And again, you're going to weave in a diagonal, just like you would any other tapestry, and let the red come up the sides on it. There'll be 2 or 4 on the side here. Go up, 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 weave, 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 and then fill in the gap with your roving. And then here is a pin. Just break out your old jewelry. There's another pin. Break out leftover jewelry. This one's decorated with bows and jingle bell. Oh no, actually these are little Christmas balls. You could take out some of your little miniature Christmas balls. You could use earrings. You could use any number of things. But then you have, oh, that doesn't show, a lovely Christmas decoration for your house. We've got our tools to make our own woven Christmas tree. We have the loom, basically a tapestry loom, but it's really a cardboard loom. I've already warped this one, but that will follow after. I'm going to put the footage in where I warp it after I go through the supplies. So, piece of cardboard. This one's roughly 12 inches by 16 inches. A cardboard flap where you're going to draw in your shuttles. I've cut out one shuttle for you to have a look at here. Just a piece of cardboard, leftover cardboard. So I'm going to do 2 shuttles, maybe 3 shuttles. Yarn. I am using Studio Donegal Aran. I'll put a link below. I need a single skein of brown. This is 50-gram hanks. I grabbed 2 skeins of white. You can pick whatever color you want, but I picked white. I figured a snowy outlook. And then roving. And the roving I am going to use is Portland Community College. So this is going to be a local tree. Portland Community College, Romney, Dorset, Rambouillet, roving. You will need maybe 2 ounces, but I'll weigh this for sure and let you know. And again, I'll put a link to this supply below in case you want to make this yourself. Now, outside of the confines of stuff we have in the store, I have added in, I went to Joann's and got just little picks. They were 70% off, woohoo! And I found some little picks of berries with jingle bells on them in green. another one in red, and a button that sparkles. Now, what I have envisioned for this, only I'm not at home, so I couldn't do this, is to go look in your jewelry box. Many of us have hand-me-down Christmas pins from grandmothers and mothers, and even myself, I've purchased a few, and I know I have a snowflake pin that I could use. But I found this one. This one was $5.99, and then, of course, it was a coupon day, so there was a ton of supplies. It doesn't matter what you warp your board in, but clearly there is enough if you wanted to warp it in the supplies. I just didn't have them at hand this morning. So the next thing I'm going to do is to wind some yarn onto my handmade shuttle, and we'll get to weaving. I took a pair of scissors and I notched the ends. You can see right there, I just notched about a 1/2 inch. And now I am taking yarn and wrapping it around through the notch, around the back through the next notch, right there, and down through that notch, back around through the back around, until you end up with it laced like that. And there we are, warped. I'm warped. So now I need to pick out what color I'm gonna make the field. Find some brown for a trunk, and some either bulky or roving for the tree itself. All right, the next thing I did was draw a triangle down the center of the piece of cardboard to use as a diagram, just like they do in tapestry, only it's a backing piece of paper, and just a big rectangle or square underneath the triangle. I also wound my bobbins. I just did 2 in white because I had 3 made, and 1 in brown to get ready to do the stump of my tree. I'm gonna start weaving now, and I will show you how to do this. This is gonna be tricky because I am left-handed and I hold my phone left-handed, so we're gonna have to feel a little awkward. All right, I'm gonna start in the middle so that I can hide the end, and we're gonna go under, over the next one, under, over the next one, under, over the next one, one-handed, it's tricky, over, under the last one, and then we're going to pull this through and lodge my tail. Now, definitely you will be doing this two-handed, but because I don't have a tripod with me in Vancouver at my daughter's, I'm just doing it here. There, I'm gonna leave that right there. You can get a fork to tamp it down. You can tamp it down with your fingers. But when I turn, now I'm gonna turn here, I'm gonna leave a loop at the end here. I am not gonna pull that tight. So we're gonna turn back and go the opposite. So my last one was under, so now I'm gonna go over that end piece, under the one after that, over, under, under, over, under, right here, under. This is really, this is a great activity for kids. Kids are really capable of doing this weaving, and they could design their own Christmas pictures. And then over, under, and over. So I'm gonna pull that, and notice I'm gonna leave a loop very gently. See how I didn't pull it tight? I'm leaving it loose here because we're gonna tamp that down, and then I'm gonna go back. This one I've ended up as over, so we go under this one, and I'm gonna do this all the way up till I get to the bottom of the stump. Gotten up to the trunk part, and what I'm doing now is weave a row, a short row up to the line, but connecting it right at where the line is around this piece of warp, and go back, and then I do the brown and interlace it so that every other row alternates. It's gonna be a little heavier here, but I think it's looking good right there. So we have a loop back and then a brown loop and then a white loop, and then a brown loop, and then a white loop, and then a brown loop, back and forth and back and forth. So I'm alternating it, hence the fact that having these multiple shuttles is useful. This is my original one, so I've gone through one shuttle and I'm just using up the end of it until I run out, and then I'll rewind and start another one. Work my way up to the tree. I've worked my way up. I've done the trunk, alternating so that you are weaving, very much like in Tarjua, you're weaving in the white with the brown. So I would do a brown row, let it loose, do a white row, then run the brown row back, go back, then do a white row. And it does loosen up this a bit, but it still looks good. Now I'm doing a similar thing with the roving. So I've started doing the roving. I loop it. So I'm doing sort of like a carpet pile, making little loops with the roving. And then I'm putting in, every so often, a single row of the white. At some point, see how we've got a hole there? So there's gonna have to be a period of time where you weave in fact, I'm gonna take this out and fix that. So there's gonna be 3 or 4 rows, short rows of white yarn, then a row of roving, then a row that goes all the way across, and then 3 or 4 rows of white, then a white row that goes across with roving in between. So there's gonna have to be a filling in process for this. But I really like the way it looks. What do you think? Hello, back home, and I'm in bed. It was an exhausting 4 days, but I made it home. However, I have not finished my version of the tree yet, so you're gonna have to wait for the finished product until tomorrow. I'm going to wrap this up right tonight at the halfway point on the tree. I'm up at the point now, filling in just the last little bits, but I left the tree in the car in my rush to come in and get into my warm, toasty little bed. So we're supposed to freeze tonight. We might even get some ice. So I'm keeping my eyes out. I do have a pretty busy day tomorrow, both with knit group in the morning, and then I'm speaking at the Puddletown Knitters meeting about the PCC project. So I have quite a bit to get done, and we'll see if we actually make it down to the Puddletown Knitters or whether we're in ice quarantine. Anyway, as usual, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, ring the bell, and I will see you with a finished alternative tree, the white tree, tomorrow, the one that I made, and talk about the hat. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Yeah, this year Santa Claus is coming home to me.